We've all been in this situation already. Our whole team died and we are the last man standing with only a few HP left. There are 3 enemies hunting us and a freaking minion wave is rolling towards our base. So basically, everything is lost. Right? I mean, how could a single hero clear a minion wave quickly without dying against the 3 approaching enemies? If only there would be a way to clear a minion wave in lightning speed. If you already know how to do it, congratulations! I hereby officially certify you an advanced Mobile Legends player. And to everyone else, you will get the certificate after you watch this whole guide. Before we resolve what our poor Lancelot could have done here to save the match, we need to understand the basic concept of the one thing that you can always influence while you're in the match. The keyword is itemization. Building the right items at the right time is a crucial thing to get an advantage over the enemy, and probably the easiest way to increase your win rate by at least 10% immediately. Yes, I mean that serious, and I can back it up with facts. When I started to focus on lower tier items based on the current situation, I increased my win rate from 60.1% up to 72.7%. And almost all of my matches were in solo queue, which I can't prove, but I'm sure you believe me. Huh? Now, after I proved my fact, we only need to answer the question, how can you improve your itemization right now? Knowing how all the items work will be the first step, which you can learn right after this video since I already made guides about them. You could also check out Strongwill's channel, since he focuses a lot on itemization in his videos, and he really helped me to put this video together. But what I want to give you today is a basic understanding of why itemization is so important. This is an MPL match between Omega and Blacklist, and I have collected 2 mistakes that the pros arguably made. Here we're still in the early game. Both cores have Molten Essence so they can clear the jungle faster, and they are both building defensive items. Fredoran has built Dreadnought armor, which is good against skill-based physical attacks, since it gives you plus 40 physical defense, and it reduces the enemy's physical attack by up to 15% if they hit you with a skill. Omega has 3 heroes who deal physical damage mostly with skills, so this item is perfect to counter them while it's also very cheap to build. Next, he's aiming to build Radiant armor because of the 2 magic damage dealers, who are both DPS mages. Radiant armor is increasing your own magic damage reduction up to 6 times, so it's the perfect counter item against DPS mages and better than Athena's shield, which is better against burst mages. This is how perfect itemization looks like. Building low tier items first so you have a quick counter against the enemies, and build the perfect high tier items afterwards. There are of course heroes who need their core items. Many Claude players, for example, use the Trinity build so he's able to deal his damage. But even here you can get a small advantage. When building Corrosion Scythe, for example, you could build Swift Crossbow first, since it's a small version of it and you can already benefit from the passive effect earlier. This is way more effective than building the 4 tier 1 items first. So the next time you lose a fight because the enemy killed you with 1 HP left, remember this video and make sure to prioritize the low tier items as well. Because then you will be the one left standing with 1 HP and your enemy can eat the load of mud. Now if we have a look at Lancelot, he already has built 2 area builds, which he needs to build the item Guardian Helmet. Guardian Helmet gives you a big HP boost and some HP regen, while its passive gives you another regen effect, which regens 2.5% of your max HP every second, or 0.5% for 5 seconds after you took damage. The problem here is that more HP and regen is not really helping you in the early game. You only need to regen the HP that you have lost. So when you build armor items instead of HP items, you will lose less HP, which means you don't need to regen your HP in the first place. And you will have a much better chance to survive because you're tankier. Building HP items is also way more expensive than building armor items. One area's build costs you 900 gold, while building steel leg plates and magic resistant cloak only costs you 750 gold. So you're tankier and have more gold for the next item. Guardian Helmet is a perfect item to have as a core though once the Dance for the Lord starts, since the regen effect really helps you to not get poked away by the enemy. For the second mistake, we go back to the beginning of this video. Our last man standing here is our beloved 𝐾𝐤𝐬𝐜, so a Lancelot with a tank build. If we look at this build here, we can see that he has 3 defensive items that give him a massive amount of HP. This he combined with the item Molten Essence, which is the lower tier version of the item Cursed Helmet. This item deals every second magic damage equal to 0.8% of the hero's max HP to nearby enemies. This damage is increased by up to 350% against minions and creeps, which gets increased even further by the jungle emblem that is usually being used. I hope you already see where I'm going with this. If we rebuild this build in the training mode, we can see that we deal 235 magic damage per second against the minions. With that in mind, we go back to the situation in the beginning. 𝐾𝐤𝐬𝐜 was hunted by Valentina and Benedetta, and he had to build immortality to survive this attack. To do that, he sold his Molten Essence. Generally, it was the right move to get immortality, because otherwise he would have died and the game would have been over. The problem here is that he sold Molten Essence for it. In this situation, 𝐾𝐤𝐬𝐜 desperately needs to clear the minion wave, so the enemies can't destroy his base. In order to do that, he should have sold another item to build immortality, and make sure to get Cursed Helmet to clear the minion wave even faster. Lance had a total of 12,600 gold, so he had enough to do it. I even tested it in the training mode to be 100% sure. If he would have sold Thunderbell, for example, to get immortality and upgrade his Molten Essence into Cursed Helmet, he would have dealt 380 magic damage per second to the minions, and he could have easily cleared the minion wave before Blacklist could destroy his base. Even if he would die afterwards, his allies would have respawned on time to catch the next rolling minion wave, and the match would have been safe for now. On first sight, it's such a small error, but if you go very deep into it, you can find countless of these small mistakes even in the pro scene, and they often decide which team is taking the win and which team is taking the lose. This also applies to your daily solo queue hell matches, where you can really excel if you master the art of itemization. In the future, we will share a lot more itemization tips and mistakes with you, so make sure to subscribe to not miss that, and check out the item guide playlist that I have made for you, where I explain the base concept how every item works. See you over there!